Today I will teach you arithmetic mean using practical example of Kolkata's famous tea stalls and with different type of data sets. The data sets can be of ungrouped data, ungrouped frequency data and group data. I will teach you and explain you step by step each of this. Just picture this, that I surveyed 5 tea stalls in Kolkata and the number of tea stalls will be 5. Different type of places in Kolkata. I went there and I surveyed like how many cups they sell every day. So the first tea stall, they sell 20 tea cups, the second 10, the third 15, the fourth 20, and the last 10. So all total 5. So the question is, like, it's easy to find the mean of smaller data sets. I mean means like average. So if we say mean, and normally it is denoted as x bar, so we all know how to calculate the average. It's just 20 plus 10 plus 15 plus 20 plus 10, and we will divide it by 5. It's just the normal average, and this data that we have is called as ungrouped data. What we call as ungrouped data. So people just do like normal average, simple average, that is for the ungrouped data. And let's calculate this. 20, 30, 45. We have 75 divided by 5, that gives us 15. So we can say that therefore on an average a tea stall in Kolkata sells 15 cups of tea every day. Now we know that this is easy for ungrouped data, but what about ungrouped frequency data? Now the story will be something similar but a little bit different. So this ungrouped frequency data is very much the same. The only difference is that we bring frequency table here. Why? Because the data becomes more larger. Let's say we instead of 5, let's say if it is 500 tea stalls, then what we will do, that's why we will put it into frequency table. So at one place, cup sold, which we will denote it as xi. Don't get confused with this like fancy terminologies, arithmetic terminologies. I will also explain them what are those, and will like give you a very simple explanation. And we have number of shops or number of tea stalls, which we, again I will use another mathematic variable. So let's say the cup sold, let's just use this data, 20, but this time the number of tea stalls that this 20 cups of tea are being sold it will be let's say 4. So what we can say that 40 stalls sell 20 cups of tea per day. We could have write it like this, like it could have been the same, like it could have been the ungrouped data, like even if we could have find it like this, but the only difference is that it would have been much more lengthy. Like how many times you have to write 20, just imagine, it would be like 4 times. So in order to reduce that, that's why we are bringing this frequency table. So 20 cups and the 30, let's say 3, and 10, let's say 5. Let's keep it this much. Now the formula for finding this frequency data of mean is x bar equals to summation of fi xi summation of fi. Okay, before I do the calculation, I will be explaining you what each of these terms mean. So summation is just a fancy math way of understanding, like saying adding everything up. Like wait, I will also tell you, like let me just write it down. So it's just the normal addition, but we use summation. It's simple, and it's just a fancy way of saying to add everything up. Don't get confused by summation. And fi is nothing, just the frequency, which tells us how many shops have that values, like these values I'm talking about. This is the frequency fi. So we can say fi is just the frequency which tells us how many shops have that value or cups sold. And xi represents, xi means this one, the cup sold, represents different values of the data set. I think now we can put all the data into this formula, like summation of fi xi. We need to understand what's happening here. There is like a product in between fi and xi. We are multiplying, like instead of writing like 20 plus 20 plus 20, and we are just like going to do this 20 into 4, and then we have summation. Then it's like normal average, we are going to do, like we are going to add up all the cups. So that's what we are going to do, like 20 into 4 plus 30 into 3 plus 10 into 5, and summation of fi is adding up all this, which gives us 12. Now let's just add this up. So I did it in the calculator, so it's coming out around 18.3. So we can just say that 18.3 cups were sold every day on an average. We will round it. Okay, let me tell you, if it is 0.5 or lesser than that, we will round down, but if it is greater than 0.5, then we will round it up, as we have 18.3 means lesser than 0.5, so we will just say 18 cups were sold. But if it was like 18.6 or 7 or 8, then we would have like rounded up to 19 cups. So yeah, that's all we have found on group data, on group frequency data. How is it different from on group data? We are just bringing one extra frequency distribution table just to make it more simple. And now we will do the last one, the group data. Okay, now don't get confused by class interval. I will tell you what this means. But group data, like normally used when we have like we have 500 tea stalls, but if we have like 10,000 of tea stalls, then it would have been much difficult. Even if we like, it will be much more data set, it would have become more larger. That's why we have this concept called do group data, how we can find mean from group data. So what we are going to do, we are going to like make cups. We are going to like bring frequency table here, cups sold, which will be in range, like not exactly specific cups, like say 10 to 20 cups, 21 to 30, and 31 to 40. And then we have number of shops, which can be like 10 to 20 we have 2, and 21 to 30 we have 3. This could be like more than what I'm using it here. It could be like 2000, 3000, but for the simplicity purposes I'm just like taking lower data, just to make you understand what exactly this means, this performing mean in different type of data sets. So we used to like consider it as Fi. You know what Fi means, frequency. And the only thing, before I go to the next step, I want to explain you the class interval. Why group data is called class interval. Class, we can divide this. First let's know what is class. This each group 10 to 20 is called as class. One class, 21 to 30 another class, 31 to 40 another class. Interval means the range, 10 to 20. This gap, this range and gap between these two values is called the interval. That's why its group data is called as class interval. Now in order to perform mean, before that we have to find the midpoint. Midpoint of what? Midpoint of 10 to 20. So this will be denoted as xi. We first used to denote xi as the specific data. Now we will also find the specific data, but not exactly specific. We will find the midpoint of this group, of this class interval. 10 to 20 midpoint is 15. 21 to 30 we have midpoint 25.5. Then 31 to 40 we have midpoint 35.5. So again we know the formula of mean, how to find the mean. It's just adding up it's just adding up. First we'll do the product. We'll see 15 cups sold. How many shops? 2 shops. 15 into 2, and then we will do the rest addition, just like this one. The only difference is that we have to find the midpoint from this group. So let's do this. We have 15 into 2 plus 25.5 into 3 plus 35.5 into 1, and summation of A5 means plus number of shops 6. Sorry. Okay, let's calculate this. It's coming as around 23.6. Now we know like what we have to do, like round it up now. So we can say 24. So to the conclusion we can say that 24 cups are like sold every day per month, like every day. Yeah, so per month that will be 24 into 30. So yeah, from all these shops we have found the number of cups they sell is 24 every day. So that was the difference between ungrouped data and group frequency data and group data. So what exactly we are doing here is that finding average or arithmetic mean is simple, but it becomes different when we are trying to find the mean from different type of data sets. So data sets could be different. So that's how I teach you today, how to find mean from different type of data sets. So now you understand ungrouped data, ungroup frequency data, and group data class intervals. So which method do you think is the most useful and for businesses in Kolkata? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe if you find this helpful, and stay tuned for more data insights.